I have a whole crate full of them. I'll have Matthew take them up to your room.
I'll have Matthew take him up to your room. Hello, my friend. Hello. No, we are not talking about Midnight Mass on this episode. It is another watch of Dark Shadows, the OG supernatural soap opera. I just want to acknowledge, though, before we get into this week's episode, first of all, what I've bitten off for myself. You guys tried to tell me. I want to say thank you to a couple of people, Zach Brahani and Gerald Vance. Have been watching these videos. Who else? I got a new comment this morning on one that I wanted to acknowledge. Dorothy Johnson, thank you for watching these videos. And Louise is watching this episodes as well. Angela Holmes is watching these. Louise had mentioned, hey, Barnabas doesn't show up until episode like 210, 211. I read that as season 2, episode 10, season 2, episode 11. That is not the case, guys. It's episode 210. I'm a doofus. I don't know. I guess I forgot that this was a daily soap opera. I mean, I knew that. Anyway, this is a daily, middle of the day, daytime soap opera. And so there are like 200 episodes before we get to Barnabas. There are some interesting things, though, I've heard in this early set. It's 6 seasons as separated out on Amazon Prime anyway. You get Dark Shadows, the beginning, 35 episodes in each block for 6 seasons. And then that brings us to episode 209. And then you roll over into the Barnabas storyline. I think I'm just going to go through them. What I may try to do is edit my reaction videos a little tighter and put a few episodes together. Try to do that moving forward. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Anyway, we're going to get into this episode right now. I'm excited. It's episode 6 of Dark Shadows.
The top of Widow's Hill is a strange and lonely place.
You cannot be surprised it's a lonely place. It's called Widow's Hill.
I know I should leave. And yet
I can't. Okay, so we're in the unused portion of the house. Carolyn Stoddard told us in one of the earlier episodes they basically use one little wing and only part of that, and the whole rest of the house has just been abandoned, basically. Why are you worrying about David at all? Forget that kid. I mean, I know it's your job and all.
There's nothing to be frightened of.
Well, that's a good cold open there, Dark Shadows. Spooky man with a big tool coming down the staircase to scare our poor girl lost in the forgotten part of the house. Collinwood, in this way, reminds me of the Mayfair house pre-Michael coming in and rehabbing it. God, they'd make that an HGTV show now, wouldn't they? This must be the man for the heavy work.
I was looking for David.
Go on.
Oh, for God's sake, Carolyn, don't... What are you putting her through all this for? Like, you know what she's down here for. She's chasing this kid around.
She'll be living with us from now on.
Doing what, ma'am?
I think you'd better go upstairs and finish your work, Matthew.
Wouldn't be hard to just say taking care of David, Carolyn. Come on. Like, everything's a post-it note with these people.
Would you mind waiting for me in the drawing room? There are a few things I think we ought to discuss.
What's in the room, Carolyn? What's in the box? What's in the box? Oh, by the way, if you don't watch Prime, this is on Tubi, I think. Somebody told me. I think it's on Tubi as well. It's in the box.
You're going to hit me, aren't you?
Of course not.
Does that
That's
happen
what
normally?
My father would do.
Ah, well, there you go.
Not while you live in this house, he won't. Miss Winters is a very nice person, David.
The widow's told me she's got to go, though. Auntie,
She wants to hurt me.
That's ridiculous.
She was snooping around down here, just like Matthew said.
I don't believe that.
And he lies like his dad.
Well, it's true.
If you're waiting for an apology, I think you're going to be waiting a long time.
Matthew Morgan.
Winters. Victoria Winters. And her husband, did you know him?
Why should you be asking about him?
I mean, if she's been waiting for him all these years, hoping he'll come back, well, he must have been quite a man.
I don't know nothing about him. But I do know that Mrs. Stoddard's a great lady. And don't you forget it.
All right. My bet is on Matt being Carolyn's father.
That's why he's very nice.
That's why the husband left.
And she offered me this house, and a job, and I've been here ever since. 18 years, and I've never been inside that cannery again.
All right. Well, maybe he just wanted a promotion. Maybe he's just sold out on her because she gave him a leg up. I still say they did the deed.
She fired him. Every last one of them. That was the last day her husband left.
But why did she do that?
I mean, if the husband left, maybe she had some financial problems at the time, had to get rid of the hired help, close off part of the house. Property taxes are a thing, lady.
And I mind my business. I hope you can do the same.
Have a look at it. The Rover Boys. I think you'll like it. I have a whole crate full of them. I'll have Matthew take them up to your room.
I'll have Matthew take him up to your room. First day with the new character, I guess. So one thing that I do, and this comes up, I think, often in soap operas, because of the quick turnover, right? I mean, they're literally shooting them day after day after day. Like, they don't see the scripts ahead of time, really. Like, you don't learn your lines for soap operas in the same way that you learn your lines for a traditional production. That's my understanding, anyway. I think it's still kind of that way, honestly.
They belonged to your father when he was your age.
I don't want it.
Well, if he beat me, I don't think I'd want his stuff either.
Your mother's not well. You know that.
I mean, we're taking Daddy's word for that, I guess.
You didn't get a chance to talk to her yet, did you?
About what?
About what she says. Well, I can't come right out and say it. Why not?
Okay, I'm with her. Like, why wouldn't you just ask her? I mean, I don't know. I guess Victoria's being polite.
Well, now, Miss Winters, I think we have a great many things to discuss.
Yeah, like why the whole base? Why am I in trouble for following the kid down to the basement? He was actually there.
But it won't work if he's afraid of you.
There's no reason.
There is in his mind. And for some reason, he sees you as a threat.
Wonder who's putting this stuff into his head.
It's not much of a past, is it, Mrs. Stoddard?
I suppose not.
Her name is Victoria. I cannot take care of her. That's what the note said.
It's a good line.
I suppose because so much seems to have happened here just 18 years ago.
That's true. A great deal happened. A very great deal.
Are they really going to get into it? I'm so proud of Victoria. Like, go, girl. Yes, please. This has got to be like right at the end of the episode now because they're about to get into it. So it'll be next week. No, it won't be next week. It'll be next episode.
I really don't think that will be necessary.
Why? Because there is no such person.
Hold her
I don't
to
like
it.
your tone, Miss Winters, nor do I like this interrogation.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude.
Oh,
It's
come
so
on.
important.
Those are the facts, and I'll have to ask you to accept them. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a number of other things.
Lying liar who lies. I mean, we know she's a liar because Roger didn't want her here. Roger said don't bring her.
How'd you make out with my mother? I don't know. Yet.
Yeah, you do. She didn't tell you anything. She said, no, I don't know anything. So Joe's coming, I'm assuming because Burke sent him up here to... Or didn't send him, but Burke... All right, so Burke Devlin had made the pitch to him to like keep an eye on the Collinses and tell him everything that happened in the house, et cetera, et cetera. And he put his down payment on the boat and all that stuff. Well, Joe's not going to do that, so he'll be up here to tell the Collinses that Burke's after him.
No, Mother, it was just one of our ghosts. Starting to rattle around a bit.
That's another episode of Dark Shadows. Hey, this is also another new place to see the credits. We're down in the basement this time. I don't know what the room was in the last episode. Matthew Morgan, played by George Mitchell. So that's our new player for this episode. I like Matt. I think we're going to see a lot of him. I think he's in quite a bit of this as the caretaker for the estate or whatever. All right, thanks everybody for watching this, and we will be back with the next episode soon. Don't forget, you can get these early and ad-free and with less editing on our Patreon. You can join...
Dark Shadows has been a Dan Curtis production.
I got to listen to my announcer. You can join at articulatecoven.com/join. $2 or more a month gets you every episode ad-free and early. All right, thanks.